It's parents' night in. It's parents' night in. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to episode 2 of Parents' Night In here at Enougha.com.
Woo.
I'm Justin.
I'm Kelly.
We're your hosts today.
With the most wine. Hosts with the most wine.
The hostess
Woo.
with the mostest drunk. Today we're watching another 80s classic, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Because who doesn't love Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
One of the greatest comedies of all time. Back when John Hughes was alive.
Jesus. That's a good way to start. Back when John Hughes was alive. Matthew Broderick wasn't fat.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I can't judge.
Before he was Matthew Broderick.
I was going to ask you to cut that joke, but Matthew Broderick is
that's
good.
Staying.
Oh, by the way, her awesome buffalo check suit, amazing.
What's buffalo check?
That's that checkered pattern is called buffalo check, I think.
Was it invented
Sure.
in Buffalo?
I don't know, but she's so fabulously 80s.
Oh,
her feathered
she's
hair.
got the amazing 80s mom hair.
Her like feathered frosted mom hair
My
and
mom
her
had
black
that.
and white. Oh, it's so great.
That was my mom's
Your
hair.
mom basically had that outfit.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
I feel
think
like
she
your
did.
mom had that whole thing.
Shit, this movie is autobiographical.
Well, Rachel and Jeannie aren't really.
And I
quite
had a
the
sister
same.
who was really mean to me.
Telling Rachel that you called her Jeannie.
Oh, man. Remember Jennifer Grey when she had a real face?
Was this before or after Dirty Dancing? I always
This was
forget.
before. This was the movie that, like,
Put her on the map.
put her on the map, and then Dirty Dancing was what made her
God, I
really
love Dirty Dancing.
I still have never seen that movie.
Oh, God.
When I saw this, I was confused because Ferris is a senior in high school, but Jeannie acts older than him. She acts like the older sister, kind of.
Wait, she's not the older sister?
No, she's younger. But, like, I always thought she was older, but it was like, well, what grade is she then? Why is she still living at home?
He's a senior?
He's a senior.
Are we sure?
Yes. Because he says it. He's like, I'm a senior. I got to make this one count. They can only do this so many more times.
I sort of always got the impression that, like, she was the older sibling, but because he was the boy, he was like the Jesus
Yeah,
child, that kind of
But
thing.
I think it was because he was a boy, but
And also because he was oldest.
But he's oldest. But, like, she gets a car, he gets a computer. So it's like, why did she get the car when she's the younger one? But
Maybe because they were like, here's a car, now get away from us.
you fucking bitch.
I cracked myself up with that joke. It wasn't even good.
It really wasn't. Wow.
We're not even into our second bottle of wine, really.
Oh, we should tell them what we're drinking. We're drinking a 2014 Murphy Good cab, which I won at work.
Murphy good is Murphy great.
Murphy Good is Murphy pretty good. By the
Why
way,
am I laughing? What are his curtains, by the way? Are they like flags? What the hell is his
I have
curtains?
no idea.
It looks like he took an entire color guard worth of flags, took the silks off the poles, sewed them together, and made curtains out of them. That's what it looks like to me. Don't laugh.
Kelly used to do color guard, so that's why that reference made it into this.
Or it could be because I thought of it. It doesn't. What if I wasn't in a color guard, but I still thought of it?
Does anyone know what the hell color guard is who hasn't done it?
Yeah, people who watch it.
I had never heard. Do people watch it that haven't done it? I'm just asking.
You.
Because you made me.
We'll unpack this later, folks.
Because you were
We're not going to unpack this with you on the line.
Because you were one of the performers, so I watched it. But I had never heard of. I'm saying I had never heard of color guard before you told me about it.
What, did you live under a rock?
No.
How many of you have a removable shower head that do the whole Ferris Bueller singing into the shower head and then
Singing Wayne Newton.
right and then putting the shower head on your genitals and blocking the camera? Do you all do that? Oh, just me. So we have
There's two famous people in this scene.
two.
There's Ben Stein and
Oh, right.
Christy Swanson.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about students.
This was the role that made Ben Stein famous for a little while.
This was the beginning of the Ben Stein craze.
Yeah.
Remember when he was like he had like a game show called Win Ben Stein's
Win
Money?
Ben Stein's Money.
We used to watch that all the time.
And he lost a lot.
Yeah. Well, he's dumb. I don't actually. I don't actually know that. It's just a guess. So we have a child which is why this is Parents' Night In. This child takes our money and our time and our energy.
And burns both of them.
And it just lights them on fire.
Yeah.
So we have to sit in the house and watch old movies that we've seen 100 times. So we thought we would treat you to our opinions on old movies. You know what I want to know?
This scene always struck me as he's like sitting out in a lounge chair. I don't think he
But
has
it's
a pool.
Chicago.
He doesn't have a pool?
No, you can still have a lounge chair without a pool.
No, but he's like out there in his undies, like his bathing suit.
His undies.
His bathing suit. Having
When
a
he's like
fucking-
having like a pina
a
colada.
daiquiri or whatever.
And it looks like it's sunny where he is, yet Cameron is
Yeah.
in the cloudy shade.
Well, Cameron's whole house is under a black cloud, so that's why. Did you ever watch this when it aired on network TV?
Yeah, it's terrible.
They ruined...
Kevin, my brothers and I used to practice mouthing the words that were the correct
real
words while
words?
saying the dubbed words. It's really fun because when he says "you're an asshole" on the dubbed one, he says "you're an idiot." We used to go "you're an idiot," and it was really fun. You didn't visually see that, folks. You missed out. It's beautiful.
This line about the lump of coal up his ass on the TV, they said if you shoved a lump of coal in
his fist.
What the fuck sense does that even make? He's got a stick in his fist. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
the
know,
fuck
I
are you
don't
talking about?
Also, Edie McClurg, role of a lifetime.
Oh, she's amazing in this.
Role of a lifetime. And let's talk about Jeffrey. What's his face?
Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, he's
He
like
turned
so
out to
great
be
in
a
this
total
movie,
creep.
but he's a perv.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, it takes things away a little bit. Especially because he has perv mustache in this movie.
There's
He's
a
got
lot.
perv mustache, he's got perv smile.
There's a lot of Hollywood people now that you can't like anymore.
That's true,
Because
actually.
they're creeps.
That's true. 9 times.
9 times.
9 times. Number 9? Do you think maybe he was influenced by number 9?
Yes. Now, how did this work? They had no internet back then. How did he hack into the school's computer?
War games, Justin. War games.
He was in War Games.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
He learned it from the war games.
That's amazing.
That was long before this, right?
That was 3 years before. This is
Meanwhile, Grace is getting high on whiteout because she's fucking awesome. Here's a fun story. My mom's name is Grace.
So every time I said anything to her, I would say it like that.
And when we were kids, my parents rented this movie from the video store. And the video store, by the way, was called The Video Store.
That's imaginative.
It is. And they went to the video store and they rented this and they watched it. And my mom laughed so hard. And it was winter and her lips were chapped. She literally split her lip and it bled. And she couldn't talk for 3 days after watching this movie.
That's amazing.
And part of it was that scene where he was screaming Grace because she thought it was hilarious. Because, my dad probably yelled at her like that sometimes too.
Probably. Bubble gum. Now, do you suppose that was Bubble Yum, Bubblicious, or Hubba Bubba?
Oh, Hubba Bubba. I used to like Hubba
Those were
Bubba.
the 3 bubblegum food groups when we were kids. Oh, here's the keyboard.
Best
The
keyboard ever.
synthesizer, he had to put in a disc to get his sounds. Wow, he's snoring and sneezing and coughing at the same time.
And
That is
farting.
talent.
He's
And
farting. Don't forget about the farting. Think you'll be alive this weekend? Oh, remember how much you wanted to be Mia Sara? Oh, no, that's right. You're a boy. You didn't want to be Mia Sara.
I wanted to be in Mia Sara.
You wanted to be with Mia Sara.
Dweebies, dickheads,
They all adore him.
dickheads.
They think he's a righteous dude.
Oh, he's drawing naked girls on his computer. That's what they had back then. They didn't have Pornhub. You wanted some stroke material, you had to draw it. I'll go. Alan Ruck was so goddamn funny in this movie.
My older brother, would rewind this scene and watch it over and over and over and over and over.
That punching of the passenger seat that he's doing right there.
Hilarious.
That used to be me playing video games with my roommate Bob in college. I'd get so pissed and I'd punch the couch. Matthew Broderick and Alan Ruck were good friends before this movie.
Before this movie?
They auditioned together.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
that explains why their
Explains
chemistry
why
was
their
so good.
chemistry,
They
yes.
had really good chemistry.
Yep. Yeah, they were close. This is great. In what way?
Do you want to know something weird?
I can't ask a question that begins with those 3 words without thinking, in
Yeah.
what way?
So, in a previous installment of Parents' Night In, we watched Big. And I had to go and look up Tom Hanks because of a conversation that we were having on IMDb. and he has 85 filmography credits on IMDb. But like these random guys like Anderson from Ferris Bueller and Ferris Bueller's dad have 101. Is it because they take a lot of crazy little bit parts and Tom Hanks is like smart and only takes like the really big roles because he doesn't have to do anything else?
Well, yeah, I mean...
But like it's kind of crazy. He only has 85 things when these other people have like over 100.
Well, because Tom Hanks got famous relatively early in his career, so he just got to do leading roles from then on, whereas like working actors...
That's amazing.
Just have to do these little bit parts, and then they're like, okay, I did my 2 weeks of shooting, now I gotta go off to this other thing.
True.
Tell you what, dipshit. Dipshit is such a great insult.
It's not used enough.
I use it a lot. Okay, what does dipshit even mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
You take a dump and you dip it in the toilet? Here's maybe the most famous quotable scene in the entire movie. Alan Ruck at his
What
best.
the hell is the matter with you anyway?
Well, I think you should be sorry, for Christ's sake.
You're an asshole.
Asshole.
There were many years after this, many, many, many years, where I would see Alan Ruck and say, hey, it's Cameron.
Yeah.
Right? But,
That's probably everyone who ever sees him.
well, I was going
after
to say,
this.
I'd like to say that, like, you know, it's 2018 and at this point I don't do that anymore. But I don't. In my mind, I'm like, hey, it's Cameron.
Oh, yeah, he'll always be Cameron Frye.
And, you know, Cameron is a really popular name now. Like, there's a lot of Cams and Camerons and...
Yep. It was not.
But it took years for that to catch on. Like,
Yeah.
Cameron was a big, unusual name then.
I'm wondering how much of that has to do with Cameron Frye as a character. I mean, like, kids who grew up with this movie are now parents.
And Cam Neely.
Well, that, yeah.
Although, then again, Cam Neely would have been taking off in this era, wouldn't it?
I think he peaked in, like, the early 90s.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking of somebody else.
I was thinking of somebody else. Steve.
Bobby Orr.
I was thinking of Bobby Orr.
Well, because I had this conversation
Bobby Orr was in the 70s.
I know,
by the
that's
way.
why I was saying. I had this conversation with my dad last week, and I was like, Bobby Orr was the 70s? But as a child growing up in the 80s, you heard his name all the time. Cam Neely was Dumb and Dumber, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seabass.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure Cam Neely was named after Cameron Frye. No?
No, I don't think that's a
He
thing.
was too old? Okay.
Cam Neely was probably alive,
Oh.
unless his parents were like, Cameron.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, come here. Come here, Jimmy.
Fuck this Jimmy shit. You're Cam from
Jimmy,
now on.
we're changing your name.
Is he-
You are hereforth now known to be Cameron.
No, shut your mouth, Cam.
You are heretofore
Heretofore.
Cameron.
You tell
Suck it up.
You tell
Cam.
anyone your name is Jimmy, I'm gonna punch you in the cock.
I mean.
What?
So here we are at the moment in the movie where,
When the most famous song in the movie
yeah, they find
makes its
the
first appearance.
the car. They're checking out
The
Cameron's
Ferrari.
dad's Ferrari. They don't even address the awesome old-fashioned car in the background either.
Oh yeah.
They don't even address it. There's clearly more than one car in there.
Yeah, that car in the background is Boss.
Yeah, it's like a Rolls Royce or something.
I wanna drive
I know
that.
nothing about cars,
I want
to
to
be
drive that
honest.
son bitch. It's a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini.
Well, I know that there's a difference between those. I'm not dumb.
It's a Chevy Nova from 1910.
No, it's like a cool black convertible.
He's got a whole
sorta-
Ferrari like workbandage right there.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Cameron is what you would call. What's
What?
the word? I can't think of the word.
Wow.
A
wet
pushover.
A pushover.
A
yes.
pushover.
Yes, he is. Why did he even let him in the fucking garage?
A spineless pushover. Well, yeah, like he opened the garage like, check this out. My father's car is boss. Don't touch it. Don't go near it. Why'd you open the garage, you dumbass? See, this is the thing.
Where are the keys? Why are the keys in the car?
Cameron.
The dad clearly would have locked the keys in a safe somewhere.
Yes,
This is a plot hole.
I know. But you know what the thing is? Huh?
You said un.
Did I say
Un what?
When did I say un?
Just now. I was like, this is a plot hole. Un. The fuck?
Am I having a stroke?
I think so.
I might be having a stroke.
Did you bang your head earlier?
I don't know.
Now, this always bugged me. So,
That the car pulled up behind a bus?
no. That Cameron was her dad on the phone, But Ferris is her dad now, except
with a completely different accent.
He can't do the voice at all.
No.
Like, if subterfuge is what you're going for, just let Cameron be the dad for this 2 seconds.
Yeah. But then...
And then she makes out with him.
But then Cameron would have to make out.
No, he wouldn't. It would just be like a normal, oh, hi, Dad, hug.
Yeah.
And it would be way less conspicuous.
Yeah.
And here's Jeannie, and she's like, motherfucker.
Jeannie, I think, invented resting bitch face.
Yeah?
Probably not, actually. There were lots of women in the 50s that did the resting bitch face thing.
Did they?
50s, 60s, yeah. See, the thing is, he already suspected Ferris.
Yeah.
When he sees them making out, why doesn't he just go down there and grab Ferris by the ear like any normal teacher would do?
Not even that. Just walk
like
up.
Yell.
Just walk up and shake his hand.
Right.
Mr. Sloane, so good to me. Oh wait, Peterson. Sorry.
Mr. Sloane.
Sloane is her first name. Just walk up, Mr. Peterson. Ferris.
Not only that, they pull away from the school, and she's like,
She's like, woo! Yeah. After her grandmother died.
Edward Rooney has been duped.
Look at the old Pepsi can. He's holding it very clearly. Pepsi, I'm holding a Pepsi here.
It's very square. Remember when cans
Pepsi.
used to be square?
Yep.
They looked just like a can of beans.
So they didn't quite fit your mouth.
They weren't ergonomically correct.
Go soak your head. I love that line.
Yeah, what does it even mean?
I don't know. Drown yourself? It's weird.
What kind of parade is happening today in Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like St. Patty's Day, is it?
That's what I was wondering, because I know they're like, that's a huge thing there, but
yeah, but the river's
not green.
The river's not green.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Chicago during the St. Patty's Day parade. Like in The Fugitive. Edward Rooney doesn't fuck around, except when he's watching child pornography.
Ooh.
What country do you think this is? Sir, what accent do you think that is? Because I have never heard an accent like that. I can't see what his name tag says. Beyonce?
I don't think it says Beyonce. Although if it did, Tina Knowles really picked a weird person to name her child after.
I had no idea who the Detroit Red Wings were, or Gordie Howe, when I was a kid. So I was like, what is that shirt?
I always thought that Cameron Howe was his name.
Yeah. I was like, that's his name. No, wait, no. His name is Cameron Frye. So why does he have Howe on the back of his shirt? Mm-hmm. I didn't get the concept of jerseys.
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Bueller ended up being a real-life couple.
Really?
The two fell for each other during the filming of the movie and married later in 1986 when the movie came out.
That's crazy.
Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey got engaged after this movie. Did you know that? But it worked out because then she married Clark Gregg and he married Sarah Jessica Parker. It all worked out fine.
When we were kids, this whole subterfuge thing was genius. Even though there's clearly a dummy arm sticking out of the blanket, and she would have seen that. Mm-hmm. But she's dumb, and she also probably would have seen the trophy hanging.
She ain't the smartest. Well, yeah, I'm like, what mom opens the door to her child's room and doesn't notice a trophy hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah.
Like, moms know their kids' rooms really well.
Do we? I could never do that with my cheek. Do we? Do we? I want to eat at Chez Frye. Here's another iconic scene. No one will ever forget the name Abe Froman.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Was this guy in anything else? The waiter? The
I
maitre
don't
d',
know.
I mean?
I have no idea, but do you want to know what's silly?
Are you suggesting I'm not who I say I am?
Well, you know, the people online make a good point about this guy. So he's the maitre d' at this, like, super fancy, swanky restaurant. He doesn't know what Abe Froman looks like.
Yeah.
Like, Abe Froman has a reservation there. He's probably been there before.
He's probably been there a lot.
So
Plot
either
hole.
this guy is new, or he's a little shit who doesn't know anything about anything.
John Hughes, a fucking hack. Ah. Yeah, he's like, what does he look like? Abe Froman has never been there before.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just trying the restaurant for the first time.
Yeah.
And what happens when the actual Abe Froman shows up? Like, did he cancel his reservation?
I don't.
Because they're sitting at his table.
They're sitting. They have an entire meal, and the other Abe
Yeah.
Froman never shows. They got really fucking lucky.
They did.
He picked a random name off the book because they had a party of 3.
Yep. The more I think about it, the more I realize it's bullshit.
And here's Jeannie
Yeah, see-
in what looks like a basement. Why doesn't she ever go to class?
Yeah.
She just gets to stand in the hallway. Everyone else is in class. What's
She
that
just
all
gets
about?
to stand in the hallway with resting bitch face. Meh. Mad brother dick.
So, I'm pretty sure that I saw Dirty Dancing before I saw Ferris Bueller. But I remember thinking, like, Baby was so happy in the Dirty Dancing movie and was very rarely mad. And in this movie, she was a bitch the whole time and was very rarely happy.
Yeah.
Range, you see, that's called range in the world of acting.
In this movie, she's happy. In this movie, she's mad.
Happy? Mad.
Oh, there's Ferris's dad in the same restaurant.
This is not going to end well for Ferris.
Oh, man.
Who's bothering you now? That suggests that she goes into the principal's office to bitch about shit a lot.
Yeah, so she's got a reputation as a fucking real douche.
And how does Grace know her exact schedule without looking? Isn't so-and-so expecting you in consumer ed class?
Maybe Grace is Rain Man.
Why are they standing right there?
Deer in headlights.
All they had to do was walk around the corner. They're like trying to get in the dad's cab and freaking out. All they had to do was just walk around the corner. They're on the corner.
They're the worst. Good thing there was a taxi right there for the dad.
True.
I love how Mr. Rooney thinks that Ferris's playing hooky plans are so low-hanging fruit.
That this is his whole day now?
Yeah, he's hanging out at the local soda shop watching the Cubs game. This place is very crowded, by the way, for the middle of the school day.
Yeah. There are a lot of weird time warp things that are happening in this movie where it's like, this shouldn't be happening right now at this point in time of the day.
Yeah, because they're at the baseball game. So the baseball game probably starts at 1. Baseball game.
They get a lot done in this day.
They went to the Sears
Baseball
Tower.
game, the stock exchange, the parade. They had lunch at Shaki.
Yeah, and then they go to the art museum.
Like, there's no way to get that all done and get home by the
in
time
a
your parents
day.
get home from work.
No, that's impossible.
The chick that looks like Ferris Bueller from behind just spit Coke in Rooney's face.
It's a great bit.
Like a badass bitch. For the uninitiated, Edward Rooney is wiping the Coke off his face and just has a near miss with Ferris and Cameron being on TV because they caught a foul ball.
Yeah. What's the score? Nothing. Who's winning? The Bears.
The Bears aren't playing, you see, because the Bears are a football team and they're at a baseball
Wow,
game.
that game is very sparsely populated. There's a lot of empty seats in that stadium.
Because it's the middle of a goddamn workday.
I don't care. It's the Cubbies. Wish I could go back to the beginning of the season and put some money on the Cubbies. And she's just driving around like she may as well just be home at this point.
Well, yeah, like she basically skipped school too. Why is she so angry? She skipped school.
Right.
She hasn't been in her classroom once. She's leaving school in the middle of gym class.
What a fucking hypocrite. And why does he park in front of the hydrant when there's no other cars on the street?
Because if he didn't, then he wouldn't get towed, and we have that wonderful scene where he runs after the car down the street, which we will get to and describe when it comes on screen later.
God damn it. This was work of genius, the recording. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't come to the door right now.
If Ferris put half of the energy into his schoolwork as he did into his deceit and lies, he would be a straight A student.
He would.
I'm sure this is why Edward Rooney is at his house.
He just wants to see him reach his full potential.
Yeah.
Edward Rooney is the good guy in this film.
I think so.
Ferris Bueller is the villain.
I think
He's
so.
the Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Buster.
Yeah, people need to use Buster more. You're in big trouble, Buster.
Smart mouth.
Sheesh.
Ferris! Why is he snooping around the house?
Yeah, this principal's taking
At
his
this
Call
point-
of Duty a little too far.
At this point, you're trespassing, sir.
Yeah, he's so hell-bent on getting Ferris in trouble. He's willing to
He's
peek
gonna-
in windows.
He's going to work himself right into a jail cell.
I mean, he did.
This is disgusting with the mud.
The mud, ugh.
And you actually feel a little bit of sympathy for Rooney because the mud.
He shouldn't have been looking in the damn windows.
He shouldn't have been looking in the damn windows.
So now he's going to go through the dog door? Come
And now
on.
the Rottweiler's going to fucking bite his junk off.
The Rottweiler that we literally have never
That
seen
is the
in this movie.
scariest looking dog ever.
He is a scary I love Rottweilers. Like they're just so beautiful.
Yeah, how do you train
But
them?
this particular one looks scary
how do
as
you,
shit.
How do you train them to look homicidal?
To bare the teeth and stuff. I think there's a command that they learn to bare their teeth.
That's amazing. Oh, here's the parade.
And here's the giant parade that makes no
Here's the
sense. It's
parade
happening in
in
the middle of the day.
Middle of the day for no reason.
Children are there and not
Bunch
in
of Germans.
school. Oh wait.
Godzilla 85 and Teen Wolf were playing
can
that.
you rewind? Can you rewind and pause because the float that just went by said this blah 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 celebrates the 20th anniversary of. Maybe that'll tell us what the parade is for.
The
Steuben
Steuben
Parade.
Parade. What the fuck is that?
What the hell is the Steuben Parade? We gotta look this up.
Steuben.
Also, color guard friends, all those kids spinning their flags all had friggin' sails. We have a few hours. We have until 6. At this point, they've seen a parade. They've been to the museum.
Yeah.
They have.
What more do you
they
need,
haven't seen
Ferris?
the parade yet.
Don't get greedy. I have thought that phrase so many times, though, just about random shit. Like when I look at my watch, oh, it's 1 o'clock. We have a few hours. We have until 6.
Look over
there.
Why does he have to whisper it? The dad can't hear him.
Yeah.
If that was today, it would be like, holy shit, dude, your fucking dad's over there.
They'd be in Boston?
Yes. And also, does Ferris's dad not know what the girlfriend looks like?
Yeah, maybe.
Has he never met Mia Sara?
Maybe not. Maybe he's never met her.
Sloane Peterson is just not someone he's ever met.
Maybe not.
And she thinks it's a good idea to, like, make sexy faces at him?
Chicago Sun-Times. That's Roger Ebert's newspaper.
Okay.
He made the front page that day.
Yeah, that day. Come on.
That doesn't make any sense.
Is this
at
the
all.
Patriot Ledger? It gets printed at 3 o'clock and delivered around the neighborhood?
Horse shit.
Well, when they went to the baseball game, it said Save Ferris on the thing outside.
Yeah. News travels fast.
Guess so. Steuben.
And here's where Ferris Bueller hijacks the parade.
Because that's real life.
By the way, this scene is responsible for me falling in love with the song Twist and Shout. Also, the Wayne Newton song, I was like, why is there a woman singing this seemingly to another woman?
Yeah.
It sounds like a woman.
Young Wayne Newton.
Yeah. How old was he? 12?
Yeah, 12 or 13, I think. The parade celebrates Baron Friedrich von Steuben, who came to this country as a volunteer offering his services to General George Washington.
Really?
General von Steuben converted the Revolutionary Army into a disciplined fighting force, instilling in them much-needed inspiration, confidence, and competence. It's the German-American event of the year, held in September, when hundreds of participants march, dance, play, music, or ride in many of the beautiful floats. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is September.
So, like, but they don't they make it seem like it's towards the end of the year?
Yeah, they kind of do.
Also,
he's already missed 9 days this year.
Yeah, so there's no way, because this is like the first weekend in September normally.
I call bullshit.
Also, I looked at something else online earlier that said that they think that Ferris Bueller's Day Off was like June 5th.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
September.
well, it can't be. But they were saying, like, you know, because of something exciting that was happening in baseball or whatever. So we're dealing with baseball in September, which is possible.
That's possible, yeah. But the parade is September, so...
There's an interesting factoid about
Him
this
missing
dance
9 days
too.
already.
Dancers in the parade.
He would have missed all 9 school days
Seriously.
at this point.
Basically means he never goes to school.
Yeah. So, yeah, Edward Rooney is the hero of the film.
Yeah, he's like, this kid needs to come to school, you jerk.
He's just trying to teach his kid discipline.
To produce the desired drugged-out effect for his role as a drug addict in the police station, Charlie Sheen stayed awake for more than 48 hours before the scene was shot.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
He wasn't actually on anything.
He probably should have just been on something. That would probably be a lot less harmful than not sleeping for 2 days.
I don't know. We've all seen Charlie Sheen on drugs.
Yeah, I know, but he was already winning. Winning!
Oh. Even though they played siblings, Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey would later become engaged after this movie. Tragically, approximately a year later, after Broderick finished filming Biloxi Blues, and before Grey's premiere for Dirty Dancing, the couple was involved in a fatal crash in Ireland where the passengers of the other vehicle, a mother and a daughter, died in the accident.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll fuck up your relationship. Yeah, they already had time to paint Save Ferris on the fucking water tank or whatever it was.
I'm telling you. Matthew Broderick was 23 when they filmed this. Alan Ruck was 29.
What?
And Mia Sara was 18. And also, apparently Mia Sara beat Molly Ringwald to the role because she had more elegance. Which makes sense. I mean, Molly Ringwald's awesome, but she's not elegant.
He's kind of a tomboy. He's breaking into their house.
Yeah, like, this is just too much. What's his end game? So, like, he catches him. What does he do? Say, I caught him!
And then,
by sneaking into his house.
Yeah, and then Ferris says, yeah, the principal snuck into my house.
Right. And if he's there, all he has to say is, I'm sick. Of course I was home. I was homesick.
I don't think Mr. Rooney has thought this through. Alan Ruck always reminded me of my cousin Eric.
Who does? Alan Ruck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
A little bit. You are very generous. I can now afford to buy a better accent.
By the way, in the 80s, the idea of having an intercom in your house was like the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
That could be because, you know, my childhood mostly consisted of people yelling, Kelly! And an intercom would have been much more pleasant. But, you know,
Can't imagine
I
why.
digress.
Oh, here's where Cameron's about to find out the mileage.
Driving home backwards is going to take the miles off. Come on.
What did he think was going to happen, by the way, with the mileage?
He thought I was going to go backwards.
But, like, if his dad knows the mileage, even if the garage attendant hadn't taken the car out for a joyride,
Oh, yeah, I know.
he'd still be fucked.
Unless they live like a mile from Chicago.
Right.
In which case, he still knows 3 is a different number than 1.
What they should have done is shown people walking down the street stopping because they hear him screaming.
Yes.
Like, what?
They should have shown his dad at it.
That
Ferris's dad at his desk going, huh, there's a young man in trouble in Chicago. So, like, what's your theory here? Is Cameron pulling all this shit on purpose? Or is he actually freaking out and then eventually
think-
stops freaking out and decides to
yeah.
keep the charade?
Not the charade. I think, like, he freaks out and then he gets his shit together, but he's still like, you know what? I'm still gonna...
I'm going to make them suffer a little bit.
Maybe a little of that, and maybe just, like, you know, putting his own brain together.
Yeah, but I was
Where
young.
are they, by the way, that there are waves like
Yeah,
that?
this is not Chicago.
No.
This is not a Great Lake.
Because,
They're probably in Long Beach.
yeah, Lake Michigan does not have waves like that. Whose pool is this? Is this, like, Sloane's house? They're hanging out in the hot tub by the pool.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be Sloane's house because they have to know whose house it is.
I would imagine. It's not Ferris's house because he runs home.
Yeah.
And
it's not Cameron's house because it's
No.
way too nice. And it's not in the woods. And now Cameron is playing possum.
Yeah.
Bottom of the pool.
What's the end game, though? Like, what if
waiting to be rescued.
What if he's just going to eventually pop up and go, like, oh, I was just fucking with you?
And by the way, why is she wearing like a teddy?
Yeah, that's
Or
weird.
negligee or whatever? Like, that's what she was wearing under her clothes? She didn't go to school knowing he was going to do that. So that's what she wears under her clothes on a normal
Well,
basis.
if it's her house, then she could have changed into it, but
If it's her house, she didn't have a bathing suit nearby.
yeah, that's weird.
And now Ferris is all upset. Here's Charlie Sheen in his unsleptness.
The beginning of winning. I can't believe he put himself through that much for this 2-minute cameo.
Why don't you put your thumb up your butt? That's such a good
That
line.
line always-
Such a good line.
Always killed me.
Why don't you put your thumb up your butt? The ultimate 80s insult.
It's funny because I always picture someone actually doing it.
I thought you were going to say it's funny because it's true.
No, because I always picture someone actually going, bonk.
It makes that noise.
Yep.
How does he charm her?
Yeah.
In like
well,
about 10 seconds. And
she-
she's like, actually, you're wicked cute and I'm going to tell you everything.
She clearly likes deadbeats.
You know, if it were like the 90s, she'd be a goth. Mad at the world, mad at her brother, way more focused on him than on herself. Like, just let him be and enjoy your life, Jeannie. Jeez.
Why does he suggest that she go talk to Ferris?
Why does he think that putting a cinder block on the thing?
And going in reverse is going to reverse them up.
And
Why-
also, see, there was a third car. Did you see that? They'll probably go back to that view again, but there's a third car in there that did not look like the other one we saw earlier, and it's on the other side, so that would make sense.
Yeah, the problem I have with this scene about the trying to reverse the mileage is...
Duh.
No, like, you'd notice immediately if the mileage
Well, yeah, like
wasn't going
stand by the
down.
car and watch it.
Yeah.
And if it goes half a mile in the wrong direction, you say, whoops, that's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
You don't go sit outside for 25 minutes and have a heart-to-heart with your friend.
I'm going to go check on the car that I should have checked on 25 minutes ago.
Not into the modern look for homes.
No. You know why? Because we're not robots.
Robots.
I gotta take a stand, and then I'm gonna go dance.
Why is Cameron suddenly Tony Manero?
I put up with everything, Stephanie. I gotta dance. Pushes me around.
Cameron has a lot of stuff to
He's
unpack.
got some issues.
Yeah.
And at the point that they realized that it wasn't working, turn the car off.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it
no, I
doesn't-
mean, he's in the middle of a mental breakdown. I don't think they're thinking about that.
I
They're
know, but
like,
just-
they're like, what's he gonna do? Pretty sure that when they did the dub on TV for that one, they just silenced ass. I'm pretty sure they didn't replace it with anything.
After replacing every
I'm not
other...
gonna sit on my. For those of you following along at home, this was not a real Ferrari. It was way too expensive to rent one, so they
Really?
built a replica.
For him to trash?
Period. For them to use the whole movie.
Really?
It was too expensive for them to rent one. So they never used a real Ferrari.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, for those of you following at home, back in the 80s, when they would show movies on TV, they would ruin them.
Well, they still do it now.
I know.
Matter of fact,
They
one of
don't
my
show 'em that
Facebook
much
friends
anymore.
today was complaining about watching The Departed on network TV.
What is the point of that?
That's exactly what he said.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yoink. Bye-bye, car. Bye-bye, fake Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Oh. Cameron's fucked.
Who has a garage that is completely glass with just curtains in it?
I'm sorry, Cameron. It was a pleasure spending your last day with you. Cameron might hang himself. Cameron should have said, yeah, you're right. You will take the fucking heat for it because you made me take the car out, you prick.
Nah, Cameron should have put his foot down.
No, he should have. He should have. That's true. There's the inspirational 80s music.
It's always with a synthesizer. Always.
Every 80s movie. It's amazing.
It's at the moment of knowledge or light or power.
Enlightenment.
Close up on a teary-eyed Cameron. Slight smile. Proud. Now Jeannie's making out with a druggie.
Jeannie is winning right now. Okay. Okay. Fine. I'm sorry, druggie. I have to go home now.
Why did she say that people call her Shauna?
Yeah,
where does that come from?
That was very odd to me. Guys call me Shauna. Probably because their ex-girlfriends are named Shauna.
They all dated a girl named Shauna and then directly to Jeannie.
I'm just saying, like, maybe there was one guy who used to date Shauna and banged Jeannie, and the guy called her the wrong name. And she's like, oh, he calls me Shauna.
So this is what Sloane lives in? I mean, Jesus.
Is that supposed to be her house?
So basically it's 3 rich kids getting in trouble all day.
Oh, look at me. I don't want to go to school.
And now Ferris is going to run home. And here comes the moment where Jeannie almost hits him with the car, and he still runs all the way home. All the way home, all the way home, all the way home.
All the way home. Why is Jeannie driving at this point? Why wouldn't the mom be like...
Because she's working on her papers, Justin.
I don't care. She should be like, you're not fucking driving anywhere. You're an asshole.
She's probably like, you friggin' made me leave the office to sign you out of jail for calling the cops unnecessarily. I'm going to do my paperwork in the car, missy.
Do they actually do that? Do the cops...
They pick her up because she made a phony phone call?
Yeah, I know, but would they actually do that?
Maybe in this, hubbub
There
suburb.
was a guy in the house.
Yeah, I don't know.
She can't prove it, but, like, I don't know if they can actually take you into the station for that. It's amazing. She is able to drive in real time, and he's stuck in slow motion. As though in a dream. I think we should shoot her. It's a great line. Mm. Why is he back?
I don't know, but I think we should shoot her line is probably why she was like, I'm going to marry this man.
She's
looking for this. So here's Rooney, the pedophile, disgusting man who has shredded pants and a muddy foot
and blood coming out of his face.
And blood dripping off of his face. And he comes back just to give Ferris the key under his mat like a freaking creep.
Yeah, what's his end game at this point?
Right.
Ferris is going to be like, okay.
And his parents don't seem concerned by the funeral flowers all over the foyer.
Yeah. Well, it's possible Ferris snuffed it out during the workday.
Huh?
It's possible Ferris snuffed it out during the workday. What with all the flowers?
Snuffed it out?
Died.
Oh, I've never heard that term in that way before.
Why did she decide to save Ferris's ass?
Because she got some tongue and she's really liking life right now.
I guess she got some
She's like, Ferris gets everything. Oh wait, I made it out with a guy. I'm fine now.
She got some crack addict tongue.
And he remembers at the last minute, oh, turn off the synthesized snoring. I think I shall throw a baseball at it. And hit it perfectly. Where'd the trophy go? Trophy's not hanging in the middle of the room anymore?
It fell down.
Mommy would have bumped her head on it.
Yeah, but she wouldn't feel it because of her helmet hair. Oh, yeah.
And now it's time for a Twix commercial. That movie never gets old. I could watch that movie all of the time and it would never get old.
Yeah. It is both of its time and timeless.
It's like
It's
80s, but it's not too
extremely
80s.
Yeah.
This is the first time I really remember seeing stuff happen after the
After
end
the
of the movie,
credits.
like during the
Yeah.
credits.
Throughout the credits and then at the
Yeah.
end of it. Yeah.
I don't remember that happening before this.
No, I don't either.
Granted, I was like 9, so I
Yeah,
guess I
mean,
didn't have a lot of movie seeing.
I can't believe that school buses don't have seatbelts of any kind.
Yeah.
It's
well,
weird.
I guess the decision was made because if there's a bus accident, the bus driver can't unbuckle 18 kids out of a
guess.
seat.
I mean, the good thing is the buses are so big and heavy that the bus is probably going to be fine. Like,
Yeah.
I was in a school bus accident as a kid.
You
and-
were?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
A teacher was driving and she crashed her car into the school bus by accident. Her entire back bumper was off the car.
Oh my God.
The school bus was immaculate.
Huh. Was that scary?
No, I mean, it was like a momentary thing, but we had to sit there for half an hour. And then the local news showed up. And I was on the local news.
You were on the news?
I mean, sort of. Like, they got a shot of us sticking our heads out the window.
Justin Enough of Ballard.
Yeah.
Famous from the age of 8.
And here's the greatest
Wait,
post-credit
this is
scene
great.
ever.
You're still here?
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
We should take that advice. It's
Go.
over. It's over.
It is over. We gotta go to bed. I hope you enjoyed this second episode of Parents Night In here at enougha.com.
We sure did.
We sure did. Stay tuned for episode 3. Don't forget to
But there will be booze.
rewatch episode 1, which was about the film Big.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Visit us at enougha.com where you can buy official merch. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.